Bismillah, assalamu alaikum. My name is Mustafa Howard, and I've put out a few segments introducing the Islamic Focus program. And in this one, I want to talk directly to the converts in the community because there are certain things that we converts experience together. And I want to be just, very frank. I think that honesty and frankness are very important. And I want to start just by giving an example that I think most of us have seen. And it is, let's say you're sitting in a group of Muslims and you ask a question. And so many times you'll end up with 3 different answers, 5 different answers. You see it a lot on Facebook that a convert will ask a pretty basic question, and the comments, the thread is 100, 200, 300 items long, and you're getting answers from everywhere, and they're different. And I have been in those threads, and to be honest with you, none of the answers that you get are correct. Okay. Because I've seen so many of these discussions in which people will try to answer a question and they cannot quote a single scholar or a single book. Okay? That is not knowledge. Okay? And that is not how we learn Islam, and that's not how we ask our questions. Okay? When we have questions, Allah has told us, okay, in the Quran, وَأَسْأَلْ أَهْلَ الذِّكْرِ إِن كُنْتُمْ لَا تَعْلَمُونَ. Okay, that when you have questions and you do not know yourself, then you ask the people who have knowledge, okay, the scholars. And so that's why my entire program is built on the great scholars throughout the history of Islam, okay, because I want converts to get real, definite, concrete answers, okay. And I want to also mention, how important this is, because honestly, it doesn't make much sense, okay, to leave whatever religion or non-religion we had before and become Muslims and then not actually learn Islam. Okay, it really doesn't make sense. Okay, and I don't think that any convert intends that. I just think that there's a lot of confusion. There aren't many programs. There aren't many good programs, and I think that a lot of converts really just don't know where to turn. Okay, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Prophet Muhammad, he said, "Man yurid Allahu bihi khair, faqahu fid din." That whomever Allah wants good, okay, to whom Allah wants to give good, Allah gives them knowledge and understanding of the deen of Islam, the religion of Islam. And so it is a very important thing. I mean, it's the difference, the way the scholars have described it is that with knowledge, okay, you have the path and you have the light to go down that path. And without knowledge, you don't have a path and you don't have the light to take you down that path. Okay. And I want to give an example. Okay. The difference between actually formally studying, okay, and just asking here and there or attending the talks in the masjid. Okay. Let's imagine that you have a 10,000 piece puzzle, all right? Someone gave you the 10,000 pieces, but they didn't give you the box, okay? They didn't give you the picture, okay? It's going to be extremely difficult to put those 10,000 pieces together into the coherent picture that it's supposed to be. And the same way, honestly, I have known converts who have been in Islam 15, 20, 30 years and more, honestly, who haven't learned even very basic things about Islam, okay? And it's because they didn't follow a curriculum. They didn't take a methodology and a curriculum an actual study program. All right. Um, so I want to give a little example then. Okay, the way we would study medicine. All right. If I want to be a doctor, um, I mean, I can learn things about medicine by reading an article here or there, or checking a book out of the library and reading, or hitting the internet and YouTube. I can learn some facts about medicine, but I will never have a coherent knowledge of medicine until I go through the program. All right, and learning Islam is the same way. Okay, so in learning medicine, you study biology and zoology and pharmacology. Okay, the base sciences, so that you understand the body, the muscle groups, the bones, cells. You have to learn what chemicals and nutrients and things do, and then later you go through the specific practices of medicine, and you graduate then with a knowledge of the field of medicine. Okay, and learning Islam is the same way. Okay, and so that's why in this program we go through the Islamic sciences. This is not random. This is a structured curriculum, a structured program. Okay. And then another thing that's extremely important, because I know, I mean, I'm a convert. I've been a convert for 30 years. Okay. And so I know this sense of confusion and questions that you can't get straight answers to. You know, like we talked about, you ask one question, you get 10 answers, all right? And really it doesn't have to be that way. Okay, here's the problem. This number right here, 99.9%, okay? 99.9% of Muslims have not studied Islam, all right? And so we can't ask our questions among Muslims. We can't. You will never learn Islam like that. All right, but I want to focus on this issue of yaqeen and shak. Okay, these are Arabic words that are in the Quran. They're found throughout the Hadith. The scholars use these words all the time. Okay, and yaqeen means conviction, surety, that you have grasped the proofs. And you have a certainty, okay? And then shak is the opposite of that, okay? Shak is when you have doubts and unanswered questions and uncertainty, okay? And that's very problematic, okay, to go through life, okay, in Islam with all of these uncertainties. And I'm a horrible artist, but I drew this up here because the scholars do talk about this, okay? If we think about the heart and the mind, okay, as being a container that can either contain knowledge or it contain questions that we didn't find answers to, all right? And so let me give this example then. And let's say I've got a question or a thing about Islam and I don't understand it, again, like the puzzle with 10,000 pieces, okay? And so I've got a void over here in my heart or in my mind, and I've got another question and there's a void over here, and another one and there's a void over here, and then, you know, there's a big empty spot here, and then I got a big question over here. And so what you end up with is a mind and a heart that is full of doubts and uncertainties and unanswered questions, and that's really a horrible condition to be in. All right, there's actually danger in that. Okay, because you know we live in a very challenging time. There's a lot of media bombardment and rhetoric and discussion and atheism and blah 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 and attacks on Islam and you know so much going on. And the thing is that it's always been a challenge. Okay, belief and iman, it has to be acquired and it has to be built, you know, up, and then it has to be maintained and protected. and this is a part of Islam. And a part of doing that is acquiring knowledge, okay, and getting the right answers to our questions so that, we eliminate these, these dark spots in our heart and mind where we're not understanding things, okay? Because, the worst danger is that a person who has too many doubts and questions can actually end up leaving Islam. And then they go to the hereafter, as non-believers. So, we don't want that to happen, all right? So I hope that this, kind of clarifies a little bit about what this is, okay? That we develop conviction by going through a methodological study of Islam and the sciences, learning the evidences, putting the pieces of the puzzle together so that we have a comprehensive and coherent understanding, okay? And then once that's built, once we have that framework, then it's so much easier then to fill in the little gaps here and there because we will know where to look and where to get solid answers, okay? And that's a large part of what Islamic focus is about, okay? Jazakumullah khair. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.